After the win over Texas A&M, Gus Malzahn was quick to point out and give credit to Rhett Lashlee for the offensive play calling, but after what was one of the most dismal performances by Gus Malzahn offense, he really shouldered the blame, Brandon, for a lot of it, and yet he was willing to say also that a lot didn't change as far as the play calling habits between him and Rhett. So naturally it comes down to, well, if credit goes one week, why doesn't blame follow the next week?
Yeah, exactly. And I asked Rhett Lashlee about that, and then Rhett Lashlee decided to take some of the blame himself, and then actually said the entire coaching staff takes a lot of the blame. When they're trying to look for answers, that performance offensively against Georgia, one of the 8 worst of any Gus Malzahn coached game in the last 10 years. And Rhett Lashlee has been Gus's right-hand man for several years, even going back to when he was a grad assistant here at Auburn back in 2010 during that national championship season. So Rhett Lashlee taking some of the blame, and you could tell just by the tone of his voice and the way he's speaking that they're all taking the blame, and they're taking, you know, a lot of heat on this, and they know it.
Yeah, and one of the biggest things, Wes, for this past week in particular, there were 2 major aspects of play calling, but by far the biggest, and the one that was the most nonsensical, and Gus's response to it, frankly, was completely nonsensical, was Javon Robinson, and why he didn't run almost at all in the second half.
He was averaging just about a first down per carry in the first half.
I'd say that's good.
He had 8 carries, averaging 9.5 yards in the first half, and then got 4 in the second. Meanwhile, Peyton Barber got, I believe, 8 carries in the second half. And so, yeah, he just said that was what their plan was, and that they wanted to go with Peyton. And Rhett tonight, I guess, broke down a little bit more about that.
Rhett actually provided an answer.
A little bit more context to it, saying that Javon is not as good in pass protection as Peyton, so Peyton was in for that. That solves the pass protection and the also nonsensical passing of Sean White, who was clearly not healthy enough to be out there in the first place. That solves the pass protection side. That doesn't solve still running. And it's not to say that Peyton shouldn't have run. When he ran, he was effective as well.
Right.
It's to say the one who was the most successful running, though, why did he suddenly disappear?
Yeah.
This was an offense that for the last 2 years we watched Trey Mason and Cameron Artis-Payne ran until their legs fell off. But suddenly, on Saturday afternoon in a one-possession football game, they suddenly forgot that the lead running back was having a successful day.
It's not the first time this season.
Well,
No.
I mean, a lot of it, they were saying, at least, I mean, Auburn only had 5 or 6 first downs in the second half, only 1 in the third quarter. And so obviously that's going to cut a lot of your drives short. And then by the fourth quarter, they were losing, and so they were trying to put the ball in the air a little bit more. But the other question, obviously, that fans and us and everybody's been asking about was Sean White, and kind of the decision going into that, where he's obviously injured, he's limping around. They throw him in the third quarter, and yeah, I mean, I think that they've realized now, like, oh well, he wasn't as good as we thought,
Probably shouldn't have done
probably not
that.
as healthy as we originally thought. So yeah, we got a little bit more clarity on some of the decisions that were made based on around Javon Robinson and Sean White. But like you said, they've taken a lot of heat for it this week.